Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the HTL channel. Today, we're going to go over the most overrated players in all of MLB baseball. I got three for you today. These players have, kind of they've shown potential and stardom and all that, or they just have been, really really good, something like that, and then now everyone's like, oh, this person's a top five at their position, something like that, and they're just not. They're just not. So we'll have to see if maybe they can get better, something like that. But yeah, I think these guys are the most overrated players in baseball. Honorable mentions to Carlos Correa and Salvador Perez. Correa just, he was supposed to be like this guy who won multiple MVPs, was a star shortstop for multiple winning World Series winning teams. He won a couple, or he won a couple while cheating. Um, but yeah, he just hasn't been really that good. Like, he kind of put up some decent WAR seasons, but like his highest finish in MVP was 17th. That's not great. And he's been very, very disappointing since going to the Twins. Just showing why that contract was not good at all for them. And then the other honorable mention, Salvador Perez. This guy has never been able to field. Don't let the Gold Gloves fool you. Framing is horrible. Blocking is horrible. He just has not been a good fielder. He won those Gold Gloves before all the statistics were tracked, like framing run value, all that kind of stuff. He can hit home runs. He does not walk. His OPS is never really that high. He hits for a maybe like 280 to 290 in a good year, and then his on base is like the same thing. He does not walk. He swings the bat at just about everything, and he just hasn't been really that good for probably the past 2 years. And people still regard him as a top seven, top six catcher, and I just don't think he's that because he's not producing at the plate as elite as he was, and now he's and his defense was never really there. So yeah, honorable mentions: Carlos Correa and Salvador Perez. First one though is Ozzy Albies. As a Braves fan, this one pains me to do. This guy was really good up until probably about 2023. He dealt with some injuries last year, but I don't know what's going on this year. 224, 296 on base, which he's walking more than he did, but that's at the expense of, usually it's like 250. That's not really, and 250 with pop. He's got a 616 OPS, so he's not hitting for pop. Six bombs halfway into the year. 28 RBIs halfway into the year. 74 WRC plus. So absolutely horrible. Point 0.4 WAR. And then, as you can see on his Baseball Savant page right there, batting run value -8. And then usually, as you can see, when there's a lot of red, you're really good. When there's a lot of blue, you're not that great. You can see a lot of blue on that page. So yeah, and I mean, his fielding has been about average. He's good on the bases. I'll give him that. But you gotta, if you're really good on the bases, you got to get on base, and getting on base at a 296 clip just isn't good enough. Um, and I know a lot of people say that he should switch to only hitting righty, but the problem is he's not hitting righty this year either. Like what I think it is this guy is 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and he's swinging, I believe, the biggest bat on the team. Swings like a 35. Go a little down, swing like a 33, 34, and you don't have to hit 30 home runs. Yes, it was great in 2023 when you hit 30 home runs. That's when you were one of the best second basemen in baseball, and that's why you've had this hype, and that's why you've been given the benefit of the doubt up until now. But now it's so bad, and the Braves as a team are so bad. And this guy was kind of supposed to be the leader because he's the longest tenured Brave, and he's arguably, it's either him or Michael Harris that's been the worst player on the team. I didn't even put Michael Harris in this because just about everyone knows how bad he is at the plate. A lot of people still think Ozzy Albies is a really good second baseman, and out there in the field, I don't mind him. But I mean, like this offense has to get better, um, and he's got to be the catalyst of it. I mean, I really think he needs to shorten his bat, maybe even shorten his swing. His swing lefty is so long, and it's because he's up there trying to hit a bomb. Go up there, hit 290, hit 20 home runs, and steal a decent amount of bags because he can run. He can run, and then you'll be a really good second baseman. Not a lot of second basemen hit 30 home runs, and that's okay. So yeah, as of right now, Ozzy Albies is an overrated player in baseball, as much as it pains me to say. Next, Luis Arias. You guys know my stance on him. I'm all for the average guy. If you can run, he cannot. Like he's so bad on the base paths. He hasn't even been really that good with the bat this year. He's hitting 286. Luis Arias' value is when he was hitting like 330, 340. That's a whole 40 to 60 points lower than what he's doing right now. Like 318 on base is okay, but a 720 OPS, that's not really that good. I mean, he's technically been an above average hitter, 103 WRC plus, but not really. Like, like WRC plus is a really good stat, but it's not the end all be all. If you're hitting 286 and you need to be hitting for more pop because his slug is horrible. He does not hit any extra base hits. That I don't get it why he's like regarded as this really good player and so many teams want him. In his prime, when he was hitting 330, 340, I did think he was a little overrated then, but if you used him right, he worked. Now he's hitting 286. That's nowhere near to what he needs to be because he doesn't hit for pop. And as you can see on that Savant page, he doesn't miss, he doesn't whiff, he doesn't strike out, and he squares it up. He squares it up. It's not hard to square. Like by these terms for an MLB player, it's not hard to square up a baseball. Because like, I mean, your exit velo doesn't have to be that high for you to technically square it up. That's when you get your barrels. That's the good stat right there. But I just think he's not very good. And then not to mention the fact that he only hits singles. Then he's horrible on the base paths because he runs like he's got 3 backpacks on, so he can't really move. So he's kind of just like a log jam over there at first. That's why I think that's why I've been saying preaching for them to put him down in the 4 hole. So when you have 2 runners on or a runner around with 2 outs, all you need is a single. You get it from him, but he's not really doing that this year either. So we'll have to see. And then he is absolutely terrible with the glove. Like he's like if he was a DH, I guarantee you he'd have close to a 1 WAR. But because he is so bad in the field, his WAR is 0. Literally 0. He's been a replacement level player this year because of how bad his glove is. And that's an underrated part of a lot of people's game. You need to have a good glove. And if you don't, you have to back it up with your bat. That's the reason you are put in the lineup because you can suffer a little bit on defense if your bat is that good. He hasn't been. So I think he's one of the more overrated players in baseball right now. Then the last one, I've been preaching this one for a long time as well. I think this is the most overrated player in baseball. And not the fact that I don't think he's good. I think he's a solid everyday player. But the fact that people try to tell you every year this guy is going to either win an MVP, be in the MVP conversation, something like that, and he just never is. And it's Julio Rodriguez. I don't think he's good. 255, 312, 713 OPS, not really that good. It's probably about league average. 11 home runs, 42 RBIs halfway through the year. It's not terrible. You definitely want to see more, but he hits leadoff, so I'm not. If he knows how to get runs across, that's at least something of value for him. And 107 WRC plus. So he's been, you know, above league average at the plate, even though his batting run value's a -2. So he hasn't been really like, I think he's been kind of league average the entire year at the plate. And I'll give you the fact that he can run, he can move, he can steal some bags. And I will say his defense is elite. There's a lot of good options in the AL this year, but in a lot of years, he'd win a Gold Glove. He has been really good out there in center field. But the fact of the matter is, if you would have told me that Julio Rodriguez, oh, this kid's coming up, he's probably going to be a solid to good everyday player for 10 plus years for the Seattle Mariners. Cool. I would not say he's overrated. But when he came up, he did have a really good rookie year. It's just kind of been downhill since. But when he came up, every year since then, it's been okay. This kid's going to win MVP this year. Oh, this kid's going to go 40-40. This kid's going to go 30-30, something like that. He just hasn't been that. Not even close, to be honest. Usually, I mean, to his standards, these are decent numbers for the first half of the year. I swear, every year Julio Rodriguez plays baseball, probably from April to the All-Star break, he is horrible. Then, he picks it up a little bit from All-Star break to probably about mid-August. And he's probably, slightly or average to slightly above average. And then for the last month of the year, he's really, really good. And then, if they make the playoffs, the Mariners don't often do, he's not there. He disappears. So I just really think he's one of the more overrated players in baseball. I don't like, don't get me wrong, he's a good player. In my eyes, he is a good baseball player. But it's the notion and expectations and the people saying this guy is going to win an MVP in his career or this guy is going to win MVP this year. That's why he's overrated. It's not based on, just because I say you're overrated doesn't mean you're not good. It's based on where you're rated. Do I think you're rated like you're actually worse or better than what you're rated? That's how it is. So Julio Rodriguez to me is the most overrated player in baseball. I think he's probably around a top 75 to top 50 player in baseball, but a lot of people like to put him in the top 20, top 15, because of how high his ceiling is. And we just haven't seen it. It's his fourth year in the league, and we haven't seen it at all. I mean, we saw it in his rookie year. It's sad when your rookie year is your best year because you're supposed to get better after that. So, I mean, I hope he can. This guy's burned me a couple times in fantasy, so I kind of got, like a personal vendetta against him. So we'll just have to see. But I want the kid to do good because a center fielder in Seattle that's a 30-30 threat, hits for pop, really good fielder. Who does that remind you of? It's Ken Griffey Jr., the kid, one of the most popular baseball players of all time. That's what this guy was supposed to be, and he just hasn't been. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know who you think is overrated. Let me know if you don't think Julio or Luis or Ozzy is overrated. If you say Ozzy isn't overrated, you either just don't rate him super high, so he's not overrated, or you don't know ball. So we'll have to see, and Luis Ariz for that matter. But it's really just based on where you rate him. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know who you think is under or overrated. And yeah, please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know right when we post, so you can be the first viewer, first comment, something like that. Yeah, but y'all have a great rest of your day, great holiday weekend. Be careful out there, and peace.